It's funny because I remember when I was a small kid, my absolute biggest dream that I had was being able to travel wherever I wanted in the entire world and make money while doing so. I was thinking to myself, if I can just make 10K a month, travel, be in Mexico, be in Indonesia, be in Spain, be wherever I want to be and make money while doing so, then I'll reach like the peak of life. That's the ultimate kind of way of living. That's what I thought, And now I went on to achieve that. I built that life where I can literally travel exactly wherever I want in the entire world. I'm 22 years old. I made multiple six figures while traveling to the most exotic places, like Mexico, Costa Rica, Colombia, to Spain multiple times, to Africa, like all over the world, while making a lot of money and doing so. And in this video, I want to explain to you the conclusion that I've come to and why I've decided to stop traveling so much. Exactly why that's the case and how to actually think about this stuff for yourself. Because I know a lot of people that follow me, and probably you're watching this video right now, you're someone who wants to achieve more freedom for yourself. You want to build a life where you can travel, work remotely, maybe make 10K a month and take care of your family and just have more freedom in general. That's very common. That's also why I got into entrepreneurship in the first place. But there's a big thing you need to understand when it comes down to that, because that vision is probably not going to be as attractive as it seems in your eyes right now. When you're sitting where you are right now and you have these big goals of traveling and achieving all these things and never being bound to any specific location and things like that, seems all sunshine and rainbows. But after having done that in the last couple of months, I literally been to 4 different countries. I was in Colombia at first, I went to Sweden, then I was in Spain, then I was in Argentina, and now I'm here in Brazil. So I traveled, literally I've been in like 1 to 2 weeks in each of these different places. And after having gone through this, I've kind of now made the decision that I'm going to be in one location for a long amount of time coming up. And I'll show you guys in a future video what that's going to be. But in this video, I just want to explain to you like why that's the case and like why I'm actually doing that, because it's probably not what you think it is. Because see all these people, all these gurus talk about online that like, yeah, you want to get to a point where you can just travel, have freedom, not be tied anywhere. But after having done that now, I can tell you that when you live that way, when you're not bound to any specific place, your life actually becomes way, way worse. And here's what I mean by that, is what happens when you start traveling, But most people don't realize, like it seems like all sunshine and rainbows, you're traveling, having your backpack, moving wherever you want. But what happens is you get out of routines completely. So give an example here, because for example, when I was in Sweden for a bit, which is where my family lives. I was there for a while and things were all good because I lived with my parents when I was back then in their house. I have routines, I have the gym that I go to, everything was pretty like chill. I go to Spain, I had an Airbnb that I rented over there, a really, really nice place. And you have to find new routines, you have to find a new gym to go to, you have to find like the best grocery stores, you have to figure out like, we had like a cleaner that came over, like there was all these different things that needed to be figured out. It's like small logistical things, they don't seem as these like huge, big deals. But it's all this like mental bandwidth. If you're someone who's trying to like, your goal is to make a lot of money and create a lot of like wealth for the future, so like set up your future family, set up your future wife doesn't have to work, your kids, like all these goals that I have for myself and like making a lot of money moving forward as well and scaling my business to make more money. You can't afford to be leaking out all of this like mental energy towards all these like minuscule, like unimportant things, Worrying about, okay, like which gym should I go to today? Is the gym actually open? And having to like get Ubers to go to the gyms and like figuring out which supermarket actually sells the food that you're looking for. Or if you're like dialing on diet, trying to find like high quality like butcher shops and like all these different things. Like there's all this complexity that just adds in. And that's not even like mentioning like all the planning that comes into it, Finding flights, finding good Airbnbs, not overpaying, making sure you don't get scammed. Like there's so much time and mental bandwidth that goes into all these different things that I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it to be moving around that frequently, where literally like every single month you go into a new place and living that like digital nomad lifestyle where you're working from your laptop on a beach. Like that is not going to be fulfilling. And there's one more reason to that. One more big reason I want to share with you in this video. Because like all these things that I said right now is really important. Like you need to, in my opinion, be in one location, be locked in, have routines that you constantly come back to. You can definitely like, what I'm doing is like I'm taking trips, and like I'm gonna have a base moving forward where I'm gonna be living like long term, where I have an apartment, I have my routines and all that stuff. but then be taking trips, going like weekends, maybe an entire week to just go and see new places and things like that. But having this base that you come back to is so important in order for you to be productive and actually like show up and actually be able to grow any like substantial amount in your business. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is also comes down to like when you think about this vision of creating a life of freedom where you don't have to work, you can sit on a beach and like just relax. And this is the biggest thing I want to share with you in this video and why I'm making this video in the first place. Is just like realize that vision is probably not going to be as fulfilling as you expect it to. This might hurt your like the perception that you have on like, okay, Alex, I want to have freedom, I don't want to work, I want to be able to just like sit on a beach and just drink like drinks all day long. I've kind of gotten to the point now where I don't need to work as much as I used to, and I've been able to like make a lot of money like while not really like putting in these crazy hours anymore in terms of making like 10, 15, 20K a month without having to work crazy hours. And I'm telling you that lifestyle of just sitting there making all this money and like being on a beach, it is not fulfilling whatsoever. I think you truly need to have that one thing. You need to have that purpose, that thing that you're pushing yourself to get better at. Because I noticed for myself at the times where I feel like the most unfulfilled, the times I felt the most lost in life, has always been times where I don't really have one challenge. I don't have this one problem, this one thing that I'm trying to like figure out. So I think you truly need it, especially as a guy, especially as someone who's ambitious and you have big goals. Like the times you're gonna feel the most lost, the times you're gonna start getting maybe like anxious, start caring about what other people think of you, all those things. I noticed that for myself as well. I've gotten way more like kind of anxious, worried about what other people think, worrying about like just small stupid things during the periods of my life when I don't have a big challenge. And that's why I'm so grateful in the position I'm in right now, because now I have one clear like big thing that I'm trying to like grow and work on, which is basically my YouTube channel and the stuff I'm doing here on social media, and also the closing stuff that I'm doing, because I'm working, if you guys don't know how I make money, I'm basically working for an online influencer and taking sales calls for them. That's how I make a lot of money while working literally like 3 to 5 hours per day, just taking sales calls for a business owner and closing deals for them. That's my focus, and I'm trying. Like my goal right now and my mission is just to get as good as possible at that. And that's like the challenge that I'm trying to like figure out. But there's times in my life where I didn't have that. And those times I literally almost go crazy. I start reading about some crazy stuff, I fall into bad habits. All these things happen where you don't have like this mission, this one thing that you're trying to improve on. You need to have a thing that challenges you, that pushes you to be better, and that forces you to grow. Something that scares you a bit. Something that makes you a bit kind of like unsure. Something that forces you to really like step up as a guy, as a man, and like really grow as a person. It could be anything. It could be like training for a fight, getting into boxing, learning a new skill, like getting into sales and trying to land your first sales gig and trying to scale to your first 10K a month doing that. It can be like cold approaching women, like it can be a lot of different things, but you need to have that one big thing where you pour all your mental bandwidth, energy into that. When you wake up in the morning, you want to have this thing where you're just going. You know exactly this is the problem that I need to solve, and you just like every single day, shipping off, like just going at it, hustling with, getting better at this one thing. I think that's when you get the most fulfilled, and that's what you kind of miss out on when you're living this like digital nomad lifestyle where you're just traveling around, experiencing stuff, and just like having fun. You're not really like actually growing. You're not actually challenging yourself, because you're just doing all these like small different experiences, but there's no like big thing that actually is pushing you to get better and actually grow. So that's really like the two things I want to take away from this. Understand, because I've been in the position where you probably are right now, where I wanted to be a digital nomad, I wanted to live that lifestyle, I wanted to travel and like have all that freedom. And to be clear, I'm not saying I'm going to stop traveling. I'm going to keep on traveling, but I'm going to make it the change. I'm going to start being in places for a longer amount of time and actually like staying there instead of like actually creating a base for myself instead of just like jumping around from place to place and like being a week or like a month in different places. I'm going to get a base, relocate myself there, and be in a place for a long time. I think the top place that I've been to so far that I could actually see myself staying in long term is Colombia, Medellin specifically. It's a really good place. And then I'm also really curious about going to Bali and Thailand. I'm gonna be going there next year most likely. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do some vlogs out there with some cool people. But that's really like kind of what I figure out now. It's like you need to pick a place, dial in there. That's where you're gonna get the most work done. That's where you will grow the most. And then combine that with having a big challenge. Stop optimizing for how can I stop working, how can I do as little work as possible, and start focusing on like what's going to be the challenge that I actually enjoy working on, what's going to be a worthy problem for me to solve. And I promise you that's going to make you so much more fulfilled in your life. You're going to have so much more fun doing that in the long term. So if you want help with like how to actually get into a remote job and actually get freedom for yourself so you can start traveling and really take the fastest path to get there, which is what I've done with remote high ticket closing and remote high ticket sales, I have a mentorship program where I help guys get into it. I give the training, accountability, help you find roles, all that good stuff so you can actually get into remote high ticket sales, start making money online, taking sales calls for a business owner, which is what I've done for the last 3 years now. If you want help with that and like learn from me one-on-one, click the link down below this video, book a call, we'll hop on, we'll chat and see if it's a good fit for us to work together. And any questions that you have, DM me on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always in the next video. Take care. Ciao.